Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Ross Johnston. The Titans made a change today with head coach Brian Callahan giving up play calling duties to quarterback coach Bo Hardegree. Head coach Brian Callahan was asked about the decision, and this is what he had to say today.
And one of the things that I think is going to help our football team, help me be a better head coach for our team, is I'm going to hand over the play calling to Bo. You know, Bo's had some interim experience calling. He's been on the rookie quarterback before.
Bo Hardegree also coached with the Raiders and rookie Aiden O'Connell as the play caller. In college football news, Oklahoma State is firing head coach Mike Gundy, who has been with the team for 21 years. Also in college basketball news, Auburn men's head basketball coach Bruce Pearl is expected to retire, and he is giving the job to his son, Stephen Pearl, who has been an assistant with the team for many years now. In NFL news, Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans will be sidelined for a few weeks with a hamstring injury, and the Houston Texans just released safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news that wants in your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. The Tennessee Titans have a new offensive play caller. Bo Hardegree, the quarterback's coach, will call the plays. How much does that change your outlook on the season? We have a poll up at Cover 2 on Twitter, at Blaine and Zach on Twitter, if you want to vote. What's the exact wording of the poll?
I believe it was, does Bo Hardegree calling plays change like how you view this team at all, or how they'll do? Yeah. So there you go. So that is out there right now for you guys to vote on. I look at it this way. I am glad they are trying something new. I just don't have high expectations that it's going to make a bit of difference. And the reason being, because we can point, and we'll talk about Bo Hardegree at the Raiders, right? I mean, like, he has play calling, and it wasn't a great roster. And so he has it. The offense did get better from Josh McDaniels to Bo Hardegree. But at the end of the day, that change where Josh McDaniels got fired and lost his play calling duties also meant the head coach was gone. It wasn't the head coach, Josh McDaniels, giving Bo Hardegree play calling duties. It was Josh McDaniels being fired. Antonio Pierce became head coach. He made Bo Hardegree. So the philosophy is the same. Brian Callahan is still your head coach. The in-game mistakes, this may change that. I don't know. Maybe he's finally going to look at
game management.
Game management. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the playbook is Brian Callahan's. Final say may still come down to Brian Callahan. I don't know how much autonomy and change we're really going to see with Bo Hardegree because the head coach is the same. So, yes, we can look at some of the Raiders stuff, but trying to extrapolate what happened with the Raiders and saying this is what's going to happen here doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
But what happened with the Raiders?
Well, the Raiders, they increased their play action. They increased their motion usage on pass plays. They increased this. They had 6 100-yard rushing games where they had 0. They went from 3-point-something yards per attempt on rushes to 4-point-something yards per attempt on rushes.
So they improved in a lot of categories.
They improved in a lot of categories, but they also got rid of the head coach.
Right. What I'm getting back to, all that sounds good on the surface.
Yeah.
How many games did they win?
They went 5-5. That was one Aiden O'Connell. They went 5-4.
5-4.
5-4 with Bo Hardegree. So,
and with the head coach they fired, what did they get?
They were 3-5. So he ended up 8-9.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Could have been more leadership, but I'm sure the play calling was a little bit different. Obviously, put a different spin on it. Here's why I want to leave out hope. And that's all it is hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you make a change, guys get a little more excited. Maybe his sequence of how he would call plays would be different than the coach. Now, the system's the same. No one says there's a problem with their system. It's a problem with how he sequences his calls, for me personally.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe there's potential there. And I would agree that he probably has a closer relationship with the quarterback.
Yeah.
So maybe it could work in a good way. I'm just trying to look at it on the positive side because there could be something. But on the other side of this, he just said yesterday he would probably not get. He laughed. And then he said before that he would. And by the way, in today's interview, he said that had nothing to do with his play calling, with his decisions.
You want to play that clip real quick?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, I have zero disappointment in my play calling. I don't have any disappointment in that at all. But it's just more so I can see the rest of it, see the big picture better, and do a better job of it.
That to me, with what he said yesterday, because what he said yesterday, because I saw a lot of people said that he's open to it, right? Everybody since that play clip happened yesterday, he's open to it. But he didn't really say that. What he said was he kind of shifted it, and Coach Speak has said everything's being evaluated with your 0-3.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he was asked a follow-up question, he said this. He said, "I don't want to give you any more details." Or I think there's no more details to give, or something to that effect.
Oh.
So to me, that wasn't like saying that he was definitely going to do it. And
unless he was given the ultimatum.
Unless he was given the ultimatum, which his answer to that makes me feel like he was given an ultimatum.
If I had to make a guess and speculate.
Because this guy thinks his crap don't stink on play calling.
Yeah.
And that's an issue because the play calling, there's a difference between play design and play calling. And what we're talking about is his feel for the game when it comes to play calling.
Right. But everybody's running somewhat similar plays across the league. They copycat, and all of that. So, yeah, he has some good plays, but you're not calling them when they need it. Well, and you can't make decisions on them. You can't even make a decision for the team, but then you're trying to make decisions on play calling, which is a every down thing.
And also the fact that if you didn't think your play calling was an issue, why are you giving it up?
Right. Nobody asked him that?
I don't think so. I think probably everybody was probably laughing and floored at that answer. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I couldn't believe that he said it.
I can't either, man.
Because obviously there is. So that to me says this is a desperate move. Now for him to either keep his job or, that's really all it is, right? This is a move that he was forced to make to keep his job.
Not unless he's just trying to stay ahead of the curve and trying to make up excuses for why things are going where they're going. I mean, did this after, 3 games. Remember, I mentioned this in the offseason that I would let the offensive coordinator call plays. But it's all because he never got that chance to be the play caller. And so that made me go look up, and you kind of clarified it much better than I did on how many, let's just go back to 2000. How many coaches have been hired because, and they hadn't called plays? As head coaches, hired as head coaches since 2000. How far back do you want? So since 2000? Just 2000. So
that wouldn't qualify. Andy Reid, I guess, wouldn't qualify.
No.
Okay. Because he was an offensive line coach, but that's I think he was hired before the 2000s. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't know about all the way back to the 2000s.
That many guys.
But why don't we just look at the current NFL head coaches?
Okay. Because it seems like that was a no-no off the bat, but I could be just wrong and going left on this. But to me, how do you become a guru and you were never the guy making the calls? Guess what? Oh, Blaine's a guru at chess.
Yeah.
But I never played freaking chess or won a championship. But I'm the guru. So I don't understand how you become a guru without calling plays.
So Zach Taylor would be the first name that comes to mind. He never called plays under McVay.
And he's the head coach.
He's the head coach. So I'm just going through the list.
We talking about the guy that has Burrow, Chase, and
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I'm just going through the list as it goes.
I'm just trying to. Just okay.
So, because Sean McVay did call plays for the Commanders, which were under a different football team name back then.
Gotcha.
Mike McDaniel would be the next one that's on this list.
Oh.
Kevin O'Connell would be the next one.
Up for his job right now.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm just make sure I'm going to the same guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Who'd you just say after Daniels?
Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell. Oh, okay. Kevin O'Connell's good. Yeah.
Yep.
But who is he under? What tree is he under?
I'm not sure. Well, Kevin O'Connell was McVay. I'm not sure about Nick Sirianni, if he called plays under Doug Peterson and Frank Reich or not.
I don't think he
did.
did.
But I don't think he did. But he also has given up play calling fairly early in his tenure. So that would be a little bit of a, I guess, a thing you could say. And that's the list. So we got 3 for sure, a maybe on Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, well, Kevin O'Connell and McDaniel were good callers, play callers, at least on offense anyway.
But they've also had years of experience under Kyle Shanahan. Now, Kevin O'Connell didn't have a lot of years of experience because he spent a lot of time playing. But, I mean, he's been kind of around. But, I mean, obviously, he was a guy that it worked, right? More often than not, you could look at Zach Taylor, argue whether it works or not, depend on your opinion of Zach Taylor. I think the opinion is pretty split. But for Brian Callahan, it's not working. It was just plain as day is not working. And for him to go and say that is just, I couldn't believe it. And he said it with such bravado, like such confidence. Like, how? What are you talking about? I'm a fantastic play caller.
Like, that's definitely what the issue is. So then why are you making the move?
Right.
So I can be, better to manage the team.
Yeah.
After 3 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, but also, are you really going to be able to better manage the team? Because, I mean, unless you're just saying that I've never focused on game management because I'm so focused on the offense, which means that you're not a very good delegator of your own schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know the plays before now or know the rules before now, know the tricks and the feeling of game management, and if you still have your same game management manager, that Rob Ryder guy, what's really going to change on this team? Okay, I do think it will help the players and the offensive players to have the play caller on the sideline, specifically Cam Ward. There's a lot of players, and we'll get to it here shortly, a lot of players have gone on record saying they prefer the play caller to be down on the field and how beneficial it is to them. Okay, that really maybe is all that matters, right? We've said this whole offseason the only thing that matters is Cam Ward. And if this helps Cam Ward, I'm all for it. But if you think it's going to change the overall trajectory of this team, I'm just not buying it.
Well, that's also the talent, too.
Yeah. Right.
So, it's hard to say which is more accountable for why they're losing games or look so bad in these games. I think that's where, it becomes you're not sure what it is. And, so he's doing this ahead of the Texans game, which I'm sure he knows the history of the Texans and the ownership group there and what happens there if you embarrass them in Houston. Yeah. I think a couple coaches lost their jobs at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is he trying to be ahead of the curve? I don't know, man.
I think
but I'm stunned that this has happened. I mean, I couldn't wait till 11 o'clock when they said, there's going to be, I was listening to Buck and those guys. I was like, oh, what? Well, that means he's still going to be here if he's going to be there. So what could he be mentioning? The only thing came to mind was that he was going to tell us these only 2 things. You guys come up with some more. 1, he was going to not be the play caller. Number 2 is Kyver really has a personal issue, and that's why he's been dropping balls. That's the only thing that's all I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the offensive coordinator's not, or the play calling switch is not going to change that, right? I mean, Calvin Ridley's got to get out of his slump.
Right.
The only thing that could theoretically change is how the plays are distributed or a sequence, which plays are chosen. Do you lean into more play action and motion than what you've been using? We'll talk more about that coming up next. And also we'll get to Steve. 615-737-1045 is the number. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 1045 The Zone.
Let's talk insurance. King and Associates Insurance. They're independent agent, and that's a big difference. But it goes beyond just having multiple companies to shop, weeding out the non-competitive companies, keeping great relationships with the biggest and best, along with bundling. But unfortunately, life happens and they get it. So here's a true story about my friend and coworker that switched from a previous independent agent, got better coverage on his home and his contents, even his automobiles, with flawless communication and a true champion of his corner for his 16-year-old daughters who had an accident, and they saved them thousands and thousands from an independent agent who was overcharging him for years. So you can make the switch and save the same, if not more. But don't make the switch because he did. Switch because you should. As a business, family, or individual, make the switch to King and Associates Insurance. And I'm sure you have some good use for that extra dough you'll have. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 615-321-8121. That's 321-8121, or online at tkinginsurance.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door and live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. And let me say something. Ross has a massive truth bomb. As I don't know if truth bomb is the real thing, but I want But I want you to get prepared, get hyped up for it. But first, we're going to go to Steve.
But wait, though. I want to ask this question because we kind of said it already. But who made the decision to change play callers? Bergonzi, Callahan, Brinker, or the owner?
Oh,
Brinker. I'm guessing.
I'm going Brinker. I'm not going owner. Now, owner may have said something to Brinker, and Brinker was like, hey, Callahan, we need to do something here. And maybe that's how it happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, we got to make some changes. This ain't working. I just got booed. I just saw my president of business operations get booed at halftime in front of Mike Keith and all this kind of stuff. Like, something's got to change. What can we change? And then Brinker came up with this idea, and maybe that's how it happened. But I think it came from Brinker at the very least.
All right. Well, I'm going to throw out the question. We'll talk about it after.
No, well, first I want to go to Steve real quick, and then Ross can prepare his statement on the state of the Tennessee Titans. Steve, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. This question is for Blaine. I just want to get from a player's perspective. When there's a decision made like this, wherever it came from, head coach or general manager or whatnot, I'm wondering how that reflects on the players. We got a bunch of young guys, we got a real young team, and I'm just wondering, from a player's perspective, how that can be perceived.
That's a question I was going to ask, so I'm glad Steve asked it. So.
I really don't. Like, if somebody got fired, I think all bets are off, and then you kind of realizing, hey, everybody better play for yours because we don't know who will be back. But I would say offensively, I'm sure it impacts those players a little bit more than the defensive guys, and that with losing always comes in sports. Somebody's head's got to roll, and so I just think I don't know if they think at this point in time as a player that this is big, but how big are they thinking always about the game plan, what I need to do to prepare? So it's kind of somewhat of a distraction, but it does. In the locker room, guys are sitting there on free time like, dang, man, what's going on, you think? Yeah, they're starting to have questions and doubt. I think that's about as far as it will go. Now, somebody gets fired, and it's different. Everybody knows, all bets are off, all men for themselves at that point in time. Yeah, you got to be real careful, too, because guys may start playing as individuals because now they know they're playing for another team.
Yep. Ross, you ready with your comparison here?
Oh, I sure am.
Okay, so Ross told us at the break, and he says, I got the perfect comparison.
He did, man.
And he did. He nailed it. And there's levels to this. So we're going to start. Go ahead.
And you would know the later on levels, but just from surface level to start. Brian Callahan is Nathaniel Hackett. Now, I say that Nathaniel Hackett has been a coach in the league for a long time at different stops. His father, Paul, is a disciple of Bill Walsh and has a lot to do with the West Coast system, so that's kind of what he runs. Nathaniel Hackett.
So he too is a Nepo baby.
Yeah, probably. Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay for Matt LaFleur's first 3 years, 19 through 21. In that time, Aaron Rodgers won 2 MVPs. Hackett did not call plays. It was Matt LaFleur, but still, offensive coordinator. Then gets picked up by Denver to be the head coach, and we all know what happened at that time with Denver. He obviously then went to the Jets.
He only was there 1 year. That's what you got to do.
Only 1 year, went 4-11. That is the one difference, but basically, my comparison with that is Brian Callahan was in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, who's a great quarterback, did not call plays, but quarterback, great success. Callahan OC goes to a team as a head coach, play caller for the first time. Similar record, similar experience.
And not only that, let's take it a little bit further. In Nathaniel Hackett's only year as head coach, he gave up play calling duty to his quarterback's coach. I mean, how eerie is that?
Wait, and who was the quarterback coach again?
Clint Kubiak.
Do you know who
was OC?
I forgot who OC was, actually.
Do you know who the quarterback coach was last year that they transitioned play calling to for the Jets from Hackett?
Todd Downing.
Indeed.
So, yeah, I'll have to go back and look to see who the offensive coordinator for the Broncos was that year. But, I mean, I
22.
think, who?
It was 2022 was the year. I don't know if you.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, 2022, because 23 was Rodgers' first year with the Jets.
No. Rodgers.
No, it was 23. His last year in Green Bay was 22.
Yeah, but, I mean, he played in Green Bay without Nathaniel Hackett.
I know. I'm just saying, like, Hackett's season was 2022. Like,
Yeah, that's
he
what I'm
was
saying. Why are we arguing? I said 2022. What are you talking? You were the one saying 2023. Okay, so the offensive coordinator at the time was Pat Shurmur.
Oh,
Is that
Pat
right?
Shurmur.
No. Okay. Justin Otten was the offensive coordinator, which, by the way, was the guy that ended up being running backs coach here for a little bit. So I thought it was interesting, though, that he gave up play calling to his quarterbacks coach. Just like Brian Callahan.
Revisionist history, right?
But, I mean, it goes to the point of
man.
Nathaniel Hackett not being an offensive play caller at his prior stop before coming here. And let's not forget, Nathaniel Hackett, terrible at in-game decision-making and in-game
Was he?
management.
I didn't watch him
He
very
was
close.
terrible at timeouts. I mean, he was a laughingstock the whole entire season. I mean,
he must have been after 1 year.
Yeah, preserving. He didn't even finish the season, Blaine. He went 4-11. They fired him with 2 games left to go. So, I mean, he didn't even finish out his first entire season.
I know this doesn't matter. I just want.
Yeah.
Do you know who the interim coach was?
Yeah, I believe it did become.
Or was it like the special team or DC or who? Was it the quarterback?
Jerry Roseberg.
Yeah, that's who it was. Wasn't he special teams or was he the defensive coordinator?
Jerry Roseberg. I never heard.
It said senior assistant.
Yeah, he ended up. So it'd be like Mike McCoy because I think Jerry Roseberg was actually their game management specialist or something.
Oh,
it was a really odd guy to put into the thing into a position. But what was interesting is that all the parallels between him and Nathaniel Hackett, I think it's spot on. I always forget Nathaniel Hackett was the head coach. And we'll probably at some point forget that Brian Callahan was a head coach by and large. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty eerie. Same situations, terrible decision making in games, gave up play calling to your quarterback coach, skipping your offensive coordinator. I don't know.
How many games do you think he gets to prove that he can be a better game manager? I'm going to go back to the positive side. Like, how many games do you think we should see of him to prove that he can be a better CEO?
Well, it depends on, I guess, if the games actually provide opportunities.
Right.
Because it may not provide a real test.
Challenges,
Yeah.
game management, field goal
But, I mean, the
decisions.
first game that you have the real first test, you should already have changes. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is what you're focused on. This is what you just told us that he even said, let's play this clip number 1. Brian Callahan announcement that he's given up play calling duties.
A lot of things that you self-reflect on at the start that we've had so far and things that we got to get better at. And one of the things that I think is going to help our football team, help me be a better head coach for our team, is I'm going to hand over the play calling to Bo. And part of that process is, and part of the decision-making in that process is that, Bo's been had some interim experience calling. He's been on the rookie quarterback before. That part of it will make it a little bit seamless in that regard. The other part of it is that our offensive staff and our game planning process and system is going to remain in place. It's still a collaborative process. We rely on everybody to do their part. Nick is still the offensive coordinator. He'll still maintain his same exact routine and process that he's gone through to help me. And then Bo is going to step in as a play caller on Sunday. It'll allow me to do a little more with our team and with all 3 phases, pay more time and attention to those things and less in the weeds of getting ready to game plan. And one of the things I told the team and told the players after our game is that, look, everyone owns a mirror, right? We can all look at it. We can all see where we need to be better and what can help us be better. And I think this is one of the best things for us at the moment to help me do a better job as a head coach and be more present and available for the football team and less involved in just the day-to-day minutia of getting ready to call a game. So I think it's going to be positive for us. I think it'll help, and I think at the end of the day too, for our players, it's the same thing. As if there's nothing I love more than offensive game planning and calling plays, and for me to be able to do this for the betterment of our team and to put us in better position, I think we should get the same from everybody that's involved in the process.
Okay, so that right there sets the tone for me that, okay, get better at being a coach, right? That's what he says. He says he's going to be involved in all three phases of the game more. Well, I thought we were already supposed to be doing that. And now we're coming to find out. Let's hear from Denard Wilson, because he sounded surprised that Brian Callahan was in his defensive room this morning.
Talk all the time. We'll discuss the game plan. He'll communicate how offenses probably try to attack us. But, it's all hands on deck. He was in our meeting room today as we game plan. So, I love him being around. He's a hell of a coach, has a lot of great ideas, and he can be an extra voice and an extra set of eyes from an offensive perspective moving forward. So I think it's going to be a hell of a thing. I just love being around and talking football. So I look forward to it.
It's going to be a hell of a thing. I'm looking forward to it. That sounds like today was the first time that he was in there. Now, I could be wrong, and I could be reading too much into the words of Denard Wilson, but I thought this was already supposed to be happening. Because that's what we were told last year, or heading into the season.
Well, maybe it's a differentiation between him being in the meeting rooms with the players to him being part of the game planning. And I think that's what he was talking about, because today is just Tuesday, so they were doing game planning for starting tomorrow when they presented to the players. So maybe that's what he's saying. I don't know that. I'm just guessing.
Right.
I have no idea.
I mean, that's a good point to bring up. I mean, the other side of the coin there.
But listening to Callahan, though, before you played the clip there, Mr. Wilson, he says Callahan, head coach Callahan said, there's nothing I love more than play calling. That's what he said. He said there is nothing, then why are you giving it up?
Again.
You've been waiting for this moment.
Right.
There is nothing you love more than, those are his words.
Yeah.
I was
I combine that with the words of the clip that we played earlier.
But you just said
I mean, you combine it. You get what I'm saying?
Like, oh my! I don't know what's going on here.
That's why it makes me feel like it wasn't his decision, because I think Kevin Dyson has brought this up when we talked about giving up play calling. You brought it up. I brought it up. We kind of all said it. Is that if I'm going down with the ship and it's my choice, I'm going to continue calling the plays because I want it to be in my hands.
Yeah.
That
if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down my way.
Well, I'm going to go down swinging. And if I'm a jab guy, I'm just going to keep jabbing. Because that's who I am. So this lets me know all these words. I love nothing more than play calling. My play calling is not an issue. I never found it to be an issue. It's not his choice.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but that just goes to show you that either Brian Callahan is going to pout and not take this opportunity to really learn and grow, which I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think he's going to pout, or he's going to learn and grow, right? Like, I mean, adapt or die. And if you may never get another
option. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. And then they said, okay, then bye.
Yeah. Right. So my thing is that like he's going to have to adapt to his new role, because you may never get another shot at head coach, especially after this tenure that you have displayed here. You may never get a shot at head coach. So you need to adapt to it. Listen, Brian Daboll did this a couple of years ago. He gave play calling duty to Mike Kafka, and then he took it back, and then he gave it back to him again. And Brian Daboll was able to survive it. There have been times where head coaches survive giving up play calling duty. It's not often, but they do.
So wonder if he did do this to think that would help him survive.
Maybe he did. And I think that is
Probably
what it is, right? Like, I mean,
well, was it his decision or someone else's? I don't know.
Well, maybe he's not putting up a fight. He's like, okay, if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. You know, and maybe he's that, because he does kind of have that attitude where it's like, okay, he kind of seems a little bit like a people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is what my bosses are telling me, this is what I'm going to do.
And what you just said right there, if that is true, I don't know if that's true or not, then he can't be a head coach.
Right. I think we know
he can't be a head coach. If you want to be a people pleaser, that's never part of the DNA of a successful coach.
Yeah,
that won't happen.
I do, because we talked about yesterday. I kind of threw the question at you last minute at the end of the show yesterday. Was like, do you think teams take on the personality of their head coach?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, yeah, pretty much. And I agree. I do think this was. I do think this is a team that's taken on the personality of its head coach. For better or for worse, however you want to interpret that.
Well, I'm just hoping it all works out. One thing you can say about, head coach Callahan is that he is a great guy. So I always want to look forward to great guys having success. But, there's a saying, great guys finish last.
Yeah, that's true. I also think this is like, he talked about in that clip, I wish it was a shorter clip, but he talked about in that clip saying that pretty much everything else is the same except for Bo Hardigree's calling plays, which is, yeah, that makes sense, right? Because it's the same playbook, same staff. You haven't made any major staff changes. So you are really relying right now on Bo Hardigree's feel for the game. And I do think there is a benefit to being on the sidelines and having this be your primary focus to increase the chances of that being successful. And we'll talk about that coming up next. We'll also get to Big J, who's on the phone as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, it's Blaine Bishop, and listen, fellas, if your energy and confidence or your performance in the bedroom isn't what it used to be, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Masking the symptoms with pills isn't fixing the problem. At Edge Peptide Therapy, they specialize in sexual health treatments that actually target the root cause of ED and performance issues, whether it's low testosterone, poor blood flow, or hormone imbalance. And even if you're not dealing with full-blown ED, their programs can take your performance to the next level, as well as your stamina drive to the next level. It's not about patching it. It's about getting your edge back for good. I've seen firsthand what it's done for men, and I know that stuff works. So all you have to do is just visit edgepeptide.com. Yes, that's edgepeptide.com, and get back to being your best. Or you could just give them a call, 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. And we're talking about, obviously, the big news today. Bo Hardegree, the quarterback's coach, is now has offensive play calling duties. And again, it comes down to not really the playbook or the play designs. It comes down to the sequencing. Is Bo Hardegree going to get Cam Ward in a rhythm by calling more plays from the playbook that have crossers and mesh to them? Because we know those plays exist. They used them at a high rate last year. They're not using them as a high rate this year, right? So maybe that is where something changes.
Right. It's the same playbook. It's about what you choose to pull out of the hat. I mean, like, so, and when you choose to pull them out the hat, when the hat is, just calling those plays.
Right.
So, he's shown, based off your knowledge of what you're telling us, is that with the Raiders, he made some changes once he became the coordinator, used the same playbook they were using, or McDaniels, and then kind of had a lot more production out of a rookie quarterback, right?
Yeah. So they had a 4th-round rookie, Aiden O'Connell, was his quarterback the entire time he was interim offensive coordinator. And he was quarterback's coach, right? He wasn't, that's who was quarterback's coach. So
a 4th rounder, by the way, who was a walk-on at Purdue.
Right. So, he's nowhere near the talent that Cam Ward was.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
And he ended up using more play action. He increased play action usage by 9.7%. Huge. That's a huge jump when you're talking a big scheme of things. He increased motion. He used motion on pass plays 56.1% of dropbacks.
Increase.
No, that just is the total rate.
Total, okay.
The Tennessee Titans right now are using motion on dropbacks at 15.8%. So here's the question on this particular thing. People as easy button plays for quarterbacks. They help you people as easy button plays for quarterbacks. They help you with the defense, seeing the defense and all that kind of stuff. It would help Cam Ward to probably put more people in motion on dropbacks when you're passing because it helps you see what kind of coverage you may be up against. But they're not doing it. They're doing it at one of the lowest rates in the league, if not the lowest. And that doesn't make sense. And here, Bo Hardegree, who had a 4th-round rookie, knew that would help. He increased it from Josh McDaniels. Now, Josh McDaniels used it.
Right, play action pass. Did he use it?
Yes. So he used it. He increased it from 16.1% to 25.8%. So that's a huge jump, 9.7%. He increased no huddle from 4.5% to 7.6%. Okay, so that's a huge jump.
I like no huddle.
Yeah, so he increased even RPOs by just a fraction. They weren't, obviously, Aiden O'Connell. You're going to be using RPOs for Aiden O'Connell. But all this to say is that that's what we're really looking for because the players are the players. The playbook is the playbook. Can he change within the framework of the
Ox-type athletic player? Now, the Bengals do.
Right.
Ox-type athletic player. Now, the Bengals do.
Right.
On offense. We don't.
Right.
So how can you maximize that and scheme up some things to help them? Okay, I've been saying the whole time, I don't think a lot of guys are getting open. Scheme open.
Yep.
Motion, bunch, cluster. You can do all kind of things to help get guys the ball in space. So I just don't see that kind of creativity within your offense and your system. That's all you really want to ask him to do.
Yeah.
And so maybe Hardegree is a little more flexible to that. It'll be interesting this first go-round how much, head coach Callahan is still wanting to be a part of that. I'm sure he will be, but to what extent? Does it kind of tweak the play caller?
Yeah.
Like when I say that, man, he's in his ear every play. Or is he waiting to 3rd down? Hey, man, we want to run this.
And how many times is he going to overturn maybe a play call, right? Maybe he gets it in his ear or whatever, and he's like, no, we're not calling that play. Let's call this play.
Yeah.
Because he still has that right, because he is the head coach. Whether that's right or wrong, it's within his right by being head coach to change the play. Mike Vrabel did it all the time.
Yeah. Well, my style, if I'm the head coach, I'm not doing that.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't want you to hesitate and then start second-guessing yourself based off what I'm trying to tell you in game, in moment. No. We'll have those conversations next day when we're watching film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want nobody kind of all up in my stuff where I'm trying to call plays. Man, you messing up my mojo.
I also want to see if Cam Ward now starts getting to his outlets quicker, because I do wonder on a couple of these plays, is the outlet his fourth read in the progression? If in a 3 wide receiver set that 3 wide receivers are going deep at Tony Pollard, like, I don't know. Like, I do wonder, like, maybe there is a coaching element to him not going to some of his outlets or not even looking their way. And then you got the offensive line crashing down. Like, are we going to, I guess the better way to put it would be, are we going to see less plays called that require long developing routes down the field and the offensive line to hold up longer than they are physically capable of doing?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you this right now. With that offensive line where they're at right now, I'd be like, go to your one read, and after that, go to the dump off.
That's what I would be, but we don't know if they're saying that. I mean, you would think they would,
like,
but...
Hey, man, because you know he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
But you're trying to put in him, hey, man, just know we don't have a lot. That's what you're saying. We don't have, protection, especially if we got some downfield routes and everybody's clearing out. And if they got it covered, man, go to the dump down right away. Boom. Don't wait, hesitate. We get positive yardage. We may not get the first down, but it's positive yardage. So, you're trying to gain field position, too, at the same time. So you got to look at the bigger picture. You win some, you lose some, and, man, playing against some really elite quarterbacks, and you used to think, oh, we're winning because we got 3 and out. No, we really were losing. He's like, oh, no, I didn't figure out what they're going to do now. Now we're going to get them in the next go round.
Yeah.
And see, so that's kind of where you want to put them. So you got to, especially with the, issues with the offensive line. And then, you can't do anything about the drops. At the end of the day, they got to do a job. All you can do is put the ball on them.
Yeah.
Whether that's Ridley, Chig, or whoever it may be, Alec, Lockett, all of the guys. So, it's going to happen. Just hope it doesn't happen as often. But I'd be going right to the dump down after my first read.
I mean, I'm with you. Even if I wasn't even told or coached that way, to be honest with you, that's what I would be doing.
Hey, man, I'm tired of getting hit, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Boom. Hey, man, I don't have the ball. He does.
Yeah.
Go get him.
All right, let's go to Big J. Big J, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, man, I thought I'd jump on here for a minute, but I was feeling pretty good. You guys done impressed me again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, I'm thinking my question was going to be, and I think y'all pretty much answered it. If the play caller, can the play caller put his own plays in? Now, Blaine said that the team normally take on the personality of the head coach, and that was depressing. but this play caller, if he just gonna call what Callahan will call, we might as well keep Callahan. Can he do his own thing? That's my question.
Well, I think that's a good question. That's a question. I guess here you go. I don't know. Was Brian Callahan even asked that?
Well, people are saying that he was.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even think Callahan was asked if he was how much influence or how much autonomy will Bo Hardegree have.
He kept talking about the process is still going to stay the same. That's what I recall. I don't know, Ross. Did you?
Yeah, I mean that's it. But I mean that wasn't. Yeah, I mean, there's really, I don't think there is anything on here that says about Brian Callahan's influence with Bo Hardegree. Like, how much autonomy does he have? Now, he's not going to install a bunch of new plays.
No.
Because you have 11 players you have to teach that to, plus the backups, right?
Yeah, we all don't. They couldn't run a play when they were out there.
They don't even know the plays they practiced all summer.
I used to get irate when the coach would put new defenses in.
Yeah.
Like, Blaine, what do you think? Nope, it's not going to work. Ding dong over there and ding dong over there don't even know what you speaking foreign language to them. Why would let's just do what we know how to do, and guess what? If it doesn't work out, guys going to fly around to the ball anyway. Like, they put in something new, we saw it on film, it looked like it would work. It definitely did. But some guys just get really uncomfortable doing something they are very uncomfortable doing. Let's say this. They motion up. This is not the formation that the coach showed us, and they go into freeze mode. We're not familiar. What do?
Yeah.
And so that's why they don't put in a whole bunch of new plays. If they do, they'll put in a play that they've run at least one time at practice at least and just give it a different name and tag it something different. That way guys will, oh, okay, I know this play.
All right. So we're coming up next. We're gonna go to the phones. We got Nate calling in from Nebraska. We'll talk more about this because I do want to talk about the benefit of Bo Hardegree being on the sideline and what that means for the players. I've read a bunch of players and everything because Nick Holtz has been up top. Brian Callahan's been preoccupied. This could be a huge benefit for Cam
But
Ward.
was Bo up there?
No, Bo was on the
down.
sideline, but he was the middleman.
Right,
And I think cutting out
following.
the middleman may help this team. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door, and broadcasting live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. 615-737-1045 is the number. Let's go to Nate in Nebraska. Nate, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Ooh, Cornhuskers.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going good. How are you?
All right. Yeah, man, it's kind of it's sad times right now, but I'm holding on. I think the hits are piling up for Cam, man, and I hope that what happened to Marcus and Jake Locker, that and then I think a lot of the stuff too is just John Robinson as a general manager. He had so many misses. I think still kind of the residual effect of that on the team too, man. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, man, I'm just trying to hold on and keep from taking all my Titan stuff to Goodwill, man. You know what I mean?
No, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Hold on, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, and then another thing, guys, I want to ask y'all guys' opinion on something, man. Like, okay, if I was just a casual fan or I wasn't really knowledgeable about football and I watch ESPN and see the way them guys bash football, they don't have anything good to say about nobody. And if I was just a fan thinking about starting to watch the NFL, I'd be like, well, why the hell would I want to watch that? They all bums, according to Dan Orlovsky. And I want to ask you guys, when did y'all think that just that negativity, do you think the networks make them do that? I just wanted to ask you guys' opinion on that. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks. I haven't listened to any Dan Orlovsky. Is he bashing the Titans or just bashing people in general?
I think he was just saying in general.
Oh, okay.
Well, that doesn't seem, I don't think that's his stick, though.
Yeah,
I would say Stephen A's more than that
Stephen
guy.
A. Well, listen, what was it? Stephen A. Was it Chris Canty this morning? We're talking about Lamar Jackson.
Chris Canty's awful.
And he said that because Stephen A. was talking about how the Ravens went away from Derrick Henry last night, and then he kind of got cold. Derrick Henry is a volume guy.
Yeah.
And then he fumbled later on in the game, and only had like 15 carries or something like that for 50 yards. And
Chris Canty
said that, or Stephen A. was complaining about that. Chris Canty says, well, they can't trust him. He can't protect the ball.
Oh.
And Stephen A's like, this is Derrick Henry we're talking about. You give him the ball. Like, it's nothing to overthink. And but that's the negativity, I think, in the talking head shows, the debate shows, are what's good for TV. And the other stuff, like the NFL Lives and all that kind of stuff, it's just, to me, that I don't see a lot of negativity on those. But I
remember his personal with Chris Canty. He did play for the Ravens, by the way.
Hey, we're all positive here, right? Zach, you've been very positive.
I'm the president of positivity.
Yeah, I'm positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, they believe what I don't believe.
I love it. Okay, so I was thinking about this whole Bo Hardigree thing, and I was trying to find a positive spin. Because as the president of positivity for this station, I wanted to make sure that we at least had something positive. And so what just happened up on my timeline, apparently this is a big conversation in Falcons land, and I don't know why it's a big conversation, but they were talking about offensive coordinators over here on either the sideline or the booth. Mm-hmm. And right here is an article from 2014, and I got some more recent articles, but this one just happened to be up there. This is Matt Ryan talking about Dirk Cutter being on the sideline after being up in the booth. He says, quote, I thought it was good. It's great for me as a quarterback to have the play caller, not the offensive coordinator, but the play caller right there to be able to talk to him and for us to be able to communicate without any middleman. I thought that was awesome, and I really think it helps our tempo, too, out on the field. We're able to go as fast as we want because Dirk's right there firing off the play calls and letting me know what he wants to do. Now, your play caller has been on the sidelines, but he has been distracted with many, many other duties, right? He is the head coach. He's got to worry about down and distance, all that kind of stuff, and it's all floating throughout his head. He's got people in his ears. He's got timeouts he's got to think about. Got to get the defense ready. He's right, not
you got to get the K-balls.
You got to get the K-balls. And I have a theory on the K-ball thing. But at the end of the day, he's got so much on his plate. He's also not able to sit there with Cam on the sidelines, right? Now, Bo Hardigree has been, but he is essentially the middleman to what Nick Holtz is seeing and the middleman to what Brian Callahan is seeing. Like, he's the middleman for two different voices in his head. Mm. And so there was something about Matt Canada. Now, Matt Canada's not a great offensive coordinator or anything, but the players talked about it. He spent most of his Steelers offensive coordinator career up in the booth. He moved down to the booth in the middle of the 2023 season, or moved down to the field in the 2023 season. Allen Robinson says, I think there's advantages to it. He's there, so he's talking to us. We're kind of talking through different things and stuff like that. But in the NFL setting, whether the offensive coordinator is upstairs or not, you have a ton of communication that's coming in, drive to drive, play to play, and different things like that. And relocating him, Tim Kelly says, I think you get a true feel for the environment by being on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. You get a feel for your guys up front when they're running off the ball, when they're surging, if you will. So talking about rhythm. Mm-hmm. I think you get a feel for the big fella, like he's talking about Derrick Henry. You feel him run, and then being able to have that immediate feedback with him, the dialogue, the back and forth, and one of the benefits to being on the field. Now, obviously, the drawbacks are there too. You get to see more when you're up top. But Nick Holtz is still up there. So to me, this is a huge benefit for Cam Ward. And if this season's about Cam Ward, this could be a big boost for him. I think that he is the biggest beneficiary of this change besides Brian Callahan's job security.
Do you think Cam Ward had any parts of this decision?
I think that's a good question, actually. I didn't even think about that.
You just made me think about it.
I do wonder, like, maybe he didn't have input in the decision, but the decision was made with Cam Ward in mind. What's best for Cam Ward? Because is really what's best for Cam Ward Mike McCoy, or is it the guy that already has the best rapport with him on the field? Because Bo Hardigree he's by his side constantly. I mean, when you're at practices, I mean, you've seen it too, but when you're at the practices, you see Bo Hardigree just basically, he's everywhere. Cam Ward makes a mistake, Bo Hardigree's right there. I mean, that's the job of the quarterback's coach, but he ain't really paying attention to Brandon Allen. You know what I'm saying? It's all about Cam Ward, and this is a familiarity with Cam Ward without adding tons of duties on Bo Hardigree's plate that take him away from that duty of still developing Cam Ward, right? Because he's not having to really do all of Nick Holtz's secretarial duties, I guess you could say, and he's not having to do any of the duties of Brian Callahan. He gets to call plays and be quarterback's coach. And that is going to be a big benefit for Cam Ward.
Well, we shall see, because I'm really interested, since head coach Callahan loves play calling, how much he's involved in the play calling and what we see in sequencing of how they layer plays.
Yeah.
The plays are going to be the same, but how you layer the plays should look different. And so we'll see. And some of the things you brought up with the play action pass, drop backs, the run game, all those different things, see if they continue to, go up.
Because it's all about that communication with Cam Ward, and you can be the guy over there on the bench saying, okay, here's what you did wrong. And I'm sure Bo is doing this, but with someone else's in his ear. And here are the plays that we're immediately going to call. And here's what we're going to do. And I feel like there's a better chance of
so you feel
getting
better
into
about
a rhythm.
Bo being a play caller. Oh, theoretically,
theoretically, yes.
Yes, it makes sense to you.
It makes sense to me because Brian Callahan was so awful at it. Even though he says there was no problems with it. And because he wasn't. I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt last year that maybe there was a little bit of a talent issue and quarterback issue and offensive line issue. And sure, you could say that maybe he still has an offensive line issue, but the choices that he has made, not only in game that affect the game as a whole, but are the play calling choices, I find to be utterly disastrous. So to me, this is should be a big benefit.
Can't get any worse, right?
I don't want to say that because every time I say that, it feels like it gets worse. But it should go up and be better because I do think it benefits Cam more. And I think that is the thing. I think it benefits the players on the sidelines. I think it benefits Cam. I think it benefits having your play caller for this particular team to have that feel on the sidelines, that emotions, and to maybe your offensive coordinator could spend a little bit of time making sure everybody knows their assignments a little bit better. Because Nick Holtz is up there having to rely on all these position coaches. Now you got a guy down there that maybe can help and affect change on across all of the positions while also being with Cam Ward side by side.
Can't wait.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's go to Joe in Goodlettsville. Joe, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I kind of saw this last year. I think I called into y'all show on the 6th game of the season. And I said, I think dude has too much on him. First-year coach trying to do everything he's doing. It might be an ego thing. I don't know. But like sometimes we all kind of need to step back and, like I said, see the whole picture. Another thing on top of that, he said that with all this jumping off sides and stuff, that's a lot of disciplinary or lack of discipline there. Some of your best leaders say that, discipline starts at the top. And he might want to check himself a little bit more and see if something like this kind of falls in hand with that. Thank you for taking my call, and love hearing from y'all. Hey, Hitman, you're the best, brother. Take care.
Appreciate it, Joe.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I think you have to have a little bit of ego to be a coach in the league.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I do agree that I do think it was proven over time that maybe he did have a little. We were talking about him giving up play calling duties last year.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about him doing it going into this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do think that Joe has something to that right there. Just real quick, talking about the offensive line, I would be remiss to not discuss what happened with the offensive line between
the Raiders,
Josh McDaniels to Bo Hardegree with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
The touchdown percent went up. They threw more touchdowns, scored more touchdowns, or threw more touchdowns. They threw way less interceptions. There was a 5% interception rate with Josh McDaniel. Then they went to 1.7, so dropped. Now, the Tennessee Titans don't really have an interception rate problem right now, so that's, knock on wood, that's a good thing. And they went down in sack rate from 7.5 to 5.7. Now, that's still not great, but that's still a drop because right now the Tennessee Titans are at 12.5. So if you get a drop, let's get a drop. And some of that's because he goes to a more quick passing game. So I kind of think that that's going to be the thing is maybe, knock on wood, we see a quick passing game open up things for Cam Ward. Because when he is able to just drop, throw, snap, drop, throw, it's awesome. The offense looks great. It's just that they don't do that often and early enough.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, Coach Mack coming up next for his Wiggly Mack Attack. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here, 104.5 The Zone. It's Tuesday. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. You hear the music. You know what that means. It's time for our weekly Mack Attack with Coach Mack of Titans Radio. And Coach Mack, obviously the big news of the day is that Bo Hardegree is going to be taking over play calling. When you have a transition like this where play calling is being handed off, whether on the offensive or defensive side, how much change should fans really expect from what they see on the field?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends. I mean, I have no idea, what to expect because, clearly I haven't seen Bo Hardegree, call any plays. Regardless of who's calling it, you still got to execute it. So we're going to find out. I mean, the fans will find out when I do. Of course, I'll be watching practice all week, but still, that doesn't really give an insight into how it's going to be called on game day because you got to be ready to react at the moment on the game day. So we're all going to find out how much different it's going to be. But you still got to execute whatever's called.
When it comes to a staff shakeup like this, and really nobody got fired, but when it comes to changes like this on the staff 3 games into the season, is that a self-reflective, self-awareness thing to try to get this team better? I mean, what goes into a decision like this after an 0-3 start?
Well, it just depends. I mean, as I say, I'm not in the meetings. I mean, look, for 31 years, I was paid a lot of money to solve problems. I'm not in that lane anymore, but just depending on what the conversation was after the ball game, what the conversation was leading up to it. I think each environment is different, but clearly it had to be an agreement, with a lot of people that, I mean, this probably wasn't just made, in an instant. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of thought that went into it because anytime you do something like that, there's thought and there's people involved in it. But as I said, I'm not involved in that anymore. I used to be very closely involved in all those kinds of situations, but they were all different because each environment is different.
When you look at what happened on Sunday against the Colts, well, let's talk about the game from there.
Okay.
What did you see on defense that allowed the Colts to kind of just run what looked like from the surface the same bootleg play over and over?
Well, first of all, depending on what defense you're in, there's different people that are responsible for those 3-layer boots. And when you run those 3-layer boots, whether you're in man or zone, somebody's got to be responsible for the deep, for the middle, and then for that short flat. The other thing is because of the way they were running the football, they were squeezing their outside people, and that was leaving the edge open as far as to when they would. Now, some of those boots were full boots to the throwing hand. Some of them were half boots, but you've got to be able to understand that if that is working, and it's not just the bootleg part of it. You need to get that stuff pulled up before it ever develops down the field, or make them throw the shortest route on that. A couple of those bootlegs, they were throwing the deeper routes off of that, which means they had way too much time to throw.
We're talking all things Tennessee Titans with the coach of Titans Radio, Coach Mack. Brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Well, Coach Mack, man, what a heck of a performance by the Indianapolis Colts right now. What would you say about Daniel Jones and his performance thus far this season, not just against the Titans, just in general? Because right now, I would say the Colts have to be a top 5 team, let alone is Daniel Jones actually in the MVP conversation. I mean, man, he's playing phenomenal.
Yeah, Blaine, and I think when you look at it and you look at the numbers bear that out for the first 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. I mean, this offense is clearly in the top of the league in production, not only in quarterback production, but the run game, mm-hmm. Their yards per play, and plus their red zone capabilities too. I mean, they're scoring. This is a very, very efficient offense. Daniel Jones has never been an empty chair, but he's like any other quarterbacks in the league. A lot of those guys hit peaks and valleys, but he's on a hot streak. I mean, he's on a heater right now. Mm-hmm. He really is, and you can tell that. Not only him, when a quarterback is playing with that kind of confidence, yes, everybody else feeds off of that too. And plus, they've got a really, really good because of course I dig into teams when we're getting ready to play them. They've got a very, very efficient offensive line. They do a good job, and their running back. People don't talk about him a lot, but I promise you, when you're getting ready to play him, you notice him. I mean, that dude's special. But they can run the football, and they can run the football for distance, and that makes a big difference. And then here's the other thing. When you chart their 3 games, or I did the 2 games before, the Titans played them, they're very seldom behind the chains. That's a really, really good indicator that you've got your offense clicking.
No doubt about it. I was thoroughly impressed seeing them live, not just Daniel Jones, but just how they operated on their offense and spreading the team out to then, running the football and then dinking and dunking and then going downtown. They were hitting every level, doing the boots. I was like, man, this offense was so efficient. It was really impressive just to watch the sequence of play calling for them, and it felt like you didn't know what was coming.
Yeah, and the key to that, and I agree with you right there, Blaine. I mean, the key to that is when you can keep a defense in 50-50, in a 50-50 strut, then you've got a chance to do those types of things. When you stay, and again, it goes with staying ahead of the chains, because that way now a defensive signal caller cannot draw a bead on your tendency to run or throw, because the whole playbook is open to you when you're ahead of the chains. That's a huge part of it. That and field position metrics are a huge part of success for offenses. Huge part.
Yeah. Now, go to our offense, the Titans against the Colts. Take us through the interception, and you're sitting up at top, and you can see the play developing, and all of a sudden you see him flick out. Was you, in your mind, did you have to catch yourself and say, oh, no? Or what were you thinking when you saw that whole play come about? Kind of take us from the beginning to the end on that play.
Well, I mean, he waited a long time. He didn't even. That was his check down. That was his release valve, and he didn't even look when he threw it out there. That corner was sitting there because there was nothing threatening the corner back behind it. So he was just sitting there, getting a directional delivery key off the quarterback, just staring at it. And plus, I mean, he didn't throw the ball out there. He kind of lobbed the ball out there, thinking it was just going to be, a sideline throw that you'd get a few yards off of it. As soon as he threw it, I was wishing it was a yo-yo that would come back to him. I knew it.
Did you say that on air, Coach Mack?
Yeah, I just wish he'd have had a string on that yo-yo, because I knew that was a problem.
Yeah, I was hollering, oh no. But, you had players on the Colts talking a little bit about the warm-ups and somebody coming out and they look like they weren't ready to play, and you can actually say all that stuff, when you put, 40 up on a team. But did you think that the team came out flat?
No, I don't even know. I mean, look, I coached for what?
Yeah, right.
A long time. That whole flat thing to me is rhetoric. I do know this: they didn't play very well. So, and you're right. You are allowed to, and you have the avenue to say anything you want when you boat race somebody with 40.
All right. Now we're on with Coach Mack giving us a Mack attack. Now on to the Texans. Give us a little bit. We know they front fours. Oh, my. But what's going on with C.J. Stroud and the crew there on offense? Have you watched enough film to kind of give us a little snippet of what to expect?
Yeah, Blaine, they're struggling on the offensive line. I mean, they're rotating guards. I mean, they're struggling on the offensive line, which, anytime you struggle on the offensive line, you're going to have problems. Everybody wants to know what's wrong with Stroud. Well, he's not having time to throw, when he does things, and they're getting behind the chains. Thing that's keeping them in ball games, and you're right, that defensive front, especially those 2 edge rushers, they're the top 5 in the league. They're really good. They're really good, and plus, they play really, really good defense. It's a pretty much of a big spread, a dichotomy between the way their offense is playing right now. Now they're 0-3, but defensively they've played well enough to be able to have won any of those ball games, and they can pressure. So when you look at it, but yes, that's what I spend all my time doing. As soon as the one game's over, start working on the other ones. This defense is a problem. It's a problem.
The Tennessee Titans defense may be a problem. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but we have a little bit of breaking news here, Coach Mack.
Okay.
The Tennessee Titans are trading Jarvis Brownlee Jr. to the Jets in exchange for a 2026 late-round pick swap. Did they see enough from Jalen Armour-Davis and Darrell Baker Jr. to allow this trade to happen? I mean, what does this say about the Tennessee Titans defense going forward?
Well, they must have. Again, as I say, I'm not in any of those decision-making rooms anymore, like I used to be. So clearly, I mean, I'm finding that out.
We just found that out like a minute ago.
Yeah, well, I just found it out a minute and a half ago from you guys.
I had no idea.
I mean, he's the only. Jordan Schultz is the only guy that have reported it as of now. So we haven't seen anybody like Adam Schefter. So maybe something else is going on. Maybe it's not Jarvis Brownlee Jr. Maybe it's someone else or whatever. We'll see. But to go on to the Texans, I guess, and we'll pick that up later. But the Houston Texans obviously have a premier pass rush unit. And really, if they were winning more games, Will Anderson would probably be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Probably should be in that conversation regardless of wins. What can the Tennessee Titans offense do to help mitigate? Obviously, they can get healthy at right tackle, but besides that, what can they do from a play calling perspective or play design perspective to kind of mitigate that pass rush?
Run the ball, and don't get in third and double digits. I mean, really, seriously, you guys, we've talked all season long. I've talked with you guys, and I'm just, I know what I see. And when you're consistently third and double digits, you can make really average pass rushers look good because they don't have to do anything but get in that sprinter stance and go. And that's the biggest thing that they can do is stay ahead of the chains. I mean, regardless of who's calling the plays, you've got to execute it so that you don't give defenses that kind of a leeway. When I was calling defenses, if I could get somebody that could guarantee it that half their third downs or even more than that in the ball game, they're third and double digits, I got plenty of things that I can do to you that can hurt you to be able to get the ball back away from you. So they've got to be able to stay ahead of the chains on first and second down. So they've got to be able to run the football somehow.
I mean, what is the, best way? Where do you think is the best direction or best kind of run design to maybe get the running game in rhythm? Because it seems like they've had a hard time just getting this offense in rhythm in general. I mean, what is the best way for them to maybe even just do that?
Well, I mean, look, the running plays, there's everybody really runs the same runs. If you want to see, single back power O, double back power O, you're able to run crunch plays with tight ends, coming across. Everybody does the same thing. You got double, you got kick outs. You've got to be able to be efficient and move people on the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's what you have to do. There is no magic formula to running the football. Running the football is getting hats on hat and then being able to push the defense the other way. If you can't do that, and your running back is always running into somebody 2 and 3 steps. Once he gets the football, it doesn't matter what your scheme is. You got to knock people off the ball. That's what has to happen.
Well, we appreciate the time, Coach Mack. Coach Mack for his weekly Mack Attack, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, South's most trusted Ford dealer. Coach Mack, enjoy Houston.
Guys, thanks for the info. I'm going to start calling you guys to find out what's going on.
I guess so. We appreciate it.
They gave him away for a bag of nuts.
Thanks. Let's talk about that. I mean,
what was a late round pick?
It's a late round pick swap. So you still gave up a pick. And now
that something's up with that.
The A to Z Sports is quote tweeting it. Easton has confirmed this. A to Z Sports is quote tweeting it, saying Titans make another attempt to solve the penalty problems. I'm sorry, you don't trade a young starting caliber quarterback or cornerback over penalties. Yeah, this is
not unless you got he was a 5th round pick.
Yeah,
I would at least had to get that and not be swapping.
Yeah, I mean this seems unless you're trading like maybe a 7th for a 5th, and maybe that's the pick swap. We still don't know. Nobody besides Jordan Schultz and Easton has reported this as of right now.
I'll go back real quick. You guys help me recall. What was his actual injury?
Ankle, right?
Something lower because he was walking in with a boot.
Yeah, he walked in with the boot.
Walked in with the boot right in the tunnel, right?
Yeah. And Aaron Glenn, head coach of the Jets, I guarantee you Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is going to look good over there for sure. He may still get his penalties.
Oh, yeah, right.
But Aaron Glenn, he knows defensive backs.
Oh, yeah, he was pretty good. I played with him in some Pro Bowls. I know him pretty well. Well, he's not going to put up, and that personality type of Brownlee is going to fit right in there. So maybe they'll have him maybe more nickel-ish to safety-ish, and that way it will never really be an issue. A guy now, safety, who can actually cover. Yeah. Or a nickel guy who can be kind of safety nickel. To me, that's more fit for him, and he could take off. Right. Does this mean that they're going to give McCreary an extension?
I guess Marcus Smith is going to Marcus Harris is going to get.
But he hasn't played slide. Not in practice.
I don't know what they're going to do because this is the
Womack guy.
Yeah. Who hasn't even been active for any games. I am very perplexed by this.
Yeah, this was big to me.
But we talk about having dogs right on this team.
He was that.
And now you have one less dog on a team that is basically there's nobody at the kennel.
That's all we could get to. I mean, the Jets' cornerback room isn't necessarily deep. They lost DJ Reed last year. Also, Sauce Gardner, I think he was okay, but he went into concussion protocol last week. Like, all we could do was a late-round pick swap.
Right.
Really?
Like, we could have got – that's what I'm saying.
Man, this seems silly because he's a starter, right? I mean, he may not be a starter outside or a high-quality starter on the outside, but
he's a quality player.
Your step down from Jarvis Brownlee Jr. to these other guys is pretty big.
Yeah, this one here is a shocker. But, and especially what they gave up, this a swap.
Maybe he requested. Okay, maybe he requested it, right? Maybe this boot thing was a made-up thing to buy time for this, and if he's all of a sudden healthy and playing this coming Sunday for the Jets, or at least practicing, then the boot, I guess, was a mirage. I don't know.
No, I don't know about the boot stuff. I can't even speculate on that. Guys wore boots and didn't play that week. So I wore a boot and I played that week.
But this makes the defense worse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, unless they're happy with what Davis, and Baker, and
I don't know. You just got the ball thrown all over the field on you by Daniel Jones. I mean, I don't know if they really did anything better than Jarvis Brownlee Jr. for you to want to do this. We still don't know the pick swap. No, nothing from Adam Schefter, nothing from Ian Rappaport
yet. Nothing from Jim Wyatt yet.
Nothing from Jim Wyatt.
Team reports,
okay, John Glennon is saying this. Titans sending Brownlee and a 2020. I don't even want to read it. They're sending Brownlee and a 2026 7th-round pick to the Jets in exchange for a 2026 6th-round pick.
A guy who was starting, they lost value. I wonder if this was a request.
It's either a request or they just they don't like his attitude or something. I don't know. I mean, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. was awesome. I mean, as far as he was a good teammate. He was on the field from all the practices I saw. This is odd.
I find it hard to believe that this was a request by him. And I know this is a small thing, but y'all ever see those pregame videos they do in warmups? He is jacked up, ready to go, yelling tighten up all the time. Man, this is stupid.
Well, here's why I say that, because there's another side to this. Okay, that's all great for football, but then when you come to him and say, hey, man, enough is enough, did he go and say, enough is what? Enough of the holding. We're not teaching you that. You're doing that on your own. Well, he said, that's just how I play. Well, that's not how you can play here. And then they go, then you can't play here. See, that's the other side of it, that we don't know how those conversations went.
Do you agree?
Oh, I don't. No.
Okay. I didn't know if you agreed with that kind of a side to take, because you want good players on this team. You got to live with the penalties.
I think he brings a mechanism of dog that is missing on the actual team.
Yeah.
And to me, whether he was starting or a backup, To me, he could have played on our teams because we everybody right here, you held accountable, and you gonna go out here and play like your pants is on fire. And I think that's how he played. Now, did he have to get better at the holding?
Right.
Yeah. So, but that's not a reason to trade a guy. Like in my mind, now we're talking about getting rid of assets. Well, I wanted you to get value out of the asset.
That's not value. That's a big old yikes. That's ridiculous. You
that's why
spent
I
a
said
fifth
maybe
round
there
pick
was
on
a
him.
request. I don't know. I
But
have
even if
no idea.
there was a request, shop him around. I mean, that came out of nowhere.
It kind of shows they just want to get rid of him, you know?
That's what I said.
That's what it tells me is that they just want to get rid
that's
of
why
him.
I said, so was this a request from either side? Like, oh, we got to let him go. He bad attitude or whatever it is. Or was it him saying, hey, man, I need to go somewhere else if y'all would try to keep me from playing the way I'm playing?
Hey, Tyler Dial has it right here on the F&M Bank
What'd
Chat,
he say?
Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live. Tyler Dial says, draft, start to develop, trade for less value. The new philosophy of the Tennessee Titans. All right, this is cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone.
Want to know about a place where European auto repair doesn't feel like European auto repair? Well, hey, it's Blaine Bishop to tell you about the moment you walk into Eurofix, you'll notice Eurofix is not your typical greasy garage. Waiting rooms are clean, comfortable, and inviting. Service areas are spotless. Why? Because Eurofix cares about everything from how you are treated to how your vehicle is treated. Every repair comes with a rock-solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs from Eurofix that they perform and at better and below dealer pricing. You don't have to put up with all the dealer pricing or you get ghosted when you're waiting around for a call back. Well, Eurofix fixes everything European, plus a rental car is available with every appointment. Locations all through the state of Tennessee in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
Oh boy, Tennessee Titans. Should be something on the clip as the Titans turn, like as the world turns. Joseph recorded it last year for us through all this stuff. But the Tennessee Titans, if you're just joining us, traded last year's fifth round pick Jarvis Brownlee Jr. To the New York Jets for a seventh round pick for a sixth round pick in next year's draft. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., for those who may have just woken up from a coma, was the Tennessee Titans starting cornerback last year for the entire season and was this year before an injury popped up in the middle of the week at practice. Now, they put in Jalen Armour-Davis, who has a distinct injury history.
Soft tissue, yeah.
Soft tissue. He played pretty well. He played all right. So I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but they must feel really good about him. But they trade away for a team that says draft, develop, retain. They trade away their thing. You have a theory. I have not heard the theory, but you have a theory, Blaine.
Yeah, because none of it makes sense. So, when I said I had a pace around around the block of the track here, like, why would they do this? And the only thing I could come up with is that when he comes back, they might have told him, you're going to be, second string. And he was like, what?
Oof.
And like, nah.
Well, that would explain the value, right?
Then he'd be like, nah, I got to go. There's no way anybody that's been here is better than me, and I missed 1 week. And that's what you're going to do to me? And by the way, this was not Bergonzi's pick.
Yeah.
This is still Rand's pick.
But it is Brinker's pick.
Right. But
Sort of.
Right, sort of, kind of. But at the end of the day.
Callahan was here, too.
Because this seems like a knee-jerk.
Denard Wilson, too.
Trade. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
Well, that's the thing to me is that, like, did you really shop or did you just take the first available
thing? Right, that's what I'm saying, because I felt like they should have got more for a guy who's a starter.
Starting corner.
Yeah. Well, now, whether they view him as that or not is a different story, but he's been starting. You got a lot of tape, so why did they even want him?
And why are you making this decision based off one game of a guy that was cut from another team
that has an injury history?
Yeah. This doesn't seem like a prudent move. Regardless of how you try to make sense of it, right? Like, I think we've tried our best to make sense of it.
He didn't play, so there was no penalties called on him.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
I don't know what to think about it, man. This one here is perplexing for me, man. like, dang, we just gonna, wow. I mean, he was a solid player. And
that is true. L'Jarius Sneed and Darrell Baker Jr., they got 3 of the 4 penalties caught on the defense. so it didn't really solve your cornerback issue, I guess, but
oh man, I don't know.
They trade for those that may be confused by how I worded it. Last year, Brownlee Jr. was a 5th round pick. They traded him and a 7th round pick in this upcoming draft for a 6th round pick in this upcoming draft. So they
did a swap. Now, do you think the organization or someone up top, Brinker or Bergonzi, should speak on this trade?
Absolutely. Or someone should speak on this trade because it doesn't make sense. I mean, Denard Wilson should maybe speak up on it. Like, what did you see from Denard? What did you see from Jarvis Brownlee Jr. that made him expendable?
No. Let's pause that.
Yeah.
Denard Wilson has nothing to do with getting players traded.
Well, that is true. But like, if they were going to, if they came to him and said that he was going to be a second stringer.
Right.
We're going off that theory. Is what I'm going
off the theory.
Yeah.
But maybe they were told that that's what they're going to do. See, so
then if that's the issue, then I have an issue with that.
Was shown, well, then you should have an issue when they told Callahan we're going to take a play caller.
No, because he was bad. There's a difference between being a bad play caller and a good player.
You are right in theory, but they could have said, "Hey, man, we're probably going to lean into the other guys. They did a pretty good job, So
but why?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
I know. We're just throwing out.
This one.
What a heck of a Tuesday! It's week 3.
This is awesome, man. We always got some good news to talk about.
I mean, wow.
Dang.
Got a new play caller. Corner got traded. What's next?
Well, that means some people like our players.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Aaron Glenn does have an eye for talent. I mean, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. was one of the few good players on this team.
Boy, he was a dog, too.
He's one of the only dogs. But I guess we're just going to go off good vibes and positive energy and not have dogs.
Yeah, we got to make sure the dog has gloves on.
Yeah.
so he can't hold.
All right. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone. 3HL's up next. And in the meantime,
And in between time, peace.